Hello. Welcome to the podcast. We're back again.
We're back again. What's
Back
up,
again.
Bovine? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. You know, I actually had a Halloween costume ready for the podcast, and then I forgot that it was Halloween.
Where is it?
Well, it's been kind of like packed up into like 3 or 4 different boxes because I got it ready months ago, like before I moved.
You're planning ahead. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna plan ahead, and I mean, Duddles doesn't watch these, but I actually have a complete Duddles costume from his profile picture on Twitter. So I was gonna get him on and be like, "Oh, my camera's not working," and then reveal I had it ready at one point. But if you've ever watched his stream from like years ago, he used to play StarCraft in a room with like all of his bass guitars. I found a VOD of that and I took a screenshot from when he wasn't in the room. So I had that as the background. I had an Astros cap. You know, I've got his glasses, a band t-shirt that I know that he likes. Everything was ready, except I just like, all right, I have that just like in my room or like in the garage. I gotta go find my glasses without frames because I don't need glasses, you know?
Well, you just have to like, I guess, make your own video and post it.
Maybe.
For tomorrow.
Maybe. Well, it's today, so it's too late for me.
How many people in your audience do you think are in Australia?
In my audience?
Yeah, on your YouTube channel where these VODs go.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think if I went to go to like YouTube Studio to check, you'd be like, you don't have enough people to like access that information.
Like, we don't have that number. It's too small. I'm just saying, if you posted it and said Duddles Halloween costume, I think people would be okay with it.
People might ask who the hell is Duddles, but I mean, that's about it. I think that's a win. Top geography. Totally. Not enough geography data to show this report.
Well, there you go. You were right. Good call. I'm just saying, just do it. Just get it out. Do like say some Duddles things. Talk about how the Astros are awesome and everybody sucks, and that'll be it.
Yeah, I guess. I gotta
just
go
like
find all the things.
20-second thing. Yeah. If you did all the work for it already, it'd be a shame for it to go to waste.
Yeah, I mean, the band shirt is for a band I like. Man, buying an Astros hat, boy, can't believe I did that ages ago. So his specific Astro hat, by the way, is from like a design they don't use anymore. So the hat they don't make anymore, I had to go to eBay and pay someone like way more than what I would want to pay for a hat for like a collector's item. Apparently.
You put so much effort into this, dude. You got to do it.
I put a little bit of effort into it for a dumb joke, and he won't even return my calls. So
right, because that's Duddles. Like, I don't know what you want. You know who he is.
It's true.
He's not changed.
Oh no, he's
okay.
I can't change him.
No one can. No one can change anyone. It's not how that works. Anyway, you got to do it. Okay,
maybe.
Good. Oh my gosh, you can't go and then go maybe.
Maybe.
Like my brother spent my weekend with a few of my brothers in Texas over the weekend, and that was redundant. But my younger brother is like, we're trying to get to sleep one night, and he's like, like deep, racking, lung coughing coughs, right? And we're like,
chicken gun cough.
We're trying to sleep. Is that new? And he's like, no, I've been doing that for about a month. And we're like, so you should go to a doctor. And he's like, no, I'm a college student. I can't afford that. And I'm like, dude, they have on-campus clinics for free for students at your school. I know this. Go to a doctor. So we like bullied him into saying he would go.
Wow.
And then, I don't think he's going to go. So if he dies, my conscience is clean.
If he dies, you can say I told you so at the funeral. And that's what that is.
That's pretty satisfying. You can do a whole thing like, this was preventable. We told him. He wouldn't do it. And everyone's like, this is not the time for it, guys. But then it would be, because being right is important.
I mean, when else would you do it? Like, you wouldn't go another 3 or 4 years, wait till the anniversary of his death, and then be like, you remember Tim? Yeah, I told him. I told him to get that cough checked out 2 weeks
Right.
before he died. They could have caught it in time.
Right. Or I was thinking maybe if the sickness gets to the point where he's like bedridden, that'd be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's really on a down
Mm-hmm.
slope
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
almost dead but not quite. And then like that's the moment to hit him with the I told you so.
That way he can have the terrible agony of dying slowly. At the end, you get his like, oh man, he was right, and he just has this like, if only I could do it all over again. You get that great like sorrow out of him, of like of his brother kicking him while he's down. It'd be great, real good thing to do to a family member.
Yeah, you can have the guilt of knowing that he could have avoided this fate if only he'd listened to his loved ones. I think
Exactly.
that's an okay feeling to have as you're dying.
Yep.
Yep. Pretty normal stuff. Ugh.
Ugh. Yikes. All right. So you were in Texas for football? I heard it went well.
Yes. Yeah, went to the BYU Texas football game.
Mm-hmm.
So Texas is funny because every season they have like the top 5, one of the top 5 best recruiting classes, which just means they're getting the best players every season, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But then they horribly underperform. They're like, we got the best recruiting class and we won less than half our games. How did we do that? I don't know, man. You're Texas. Like it's just this consistent underperforming. The fans really hate it, kind of a thing. And so we're like, okay, so we're playing Texas next year. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a lot of fun. It's a great stadium, and hey, we might win because they're always underperforming. And then this is the year they put it together. This is the year they're like undefeated, beating everybody. They beat their rival. They're just on fire. And we're like, oh, okay. This timing did not work out for us. Bought our tickets like back in April, like way before we knew, right? Yeah. So we got skonked 36-6. The fans around us were really nice though.
Yeah.
And the stadium's got 100,000 people in it. It was awesome. It was a pretty good place to watch a football game. So
Fair enough.
can recommend.
You gonna do it like next time? Next time that game comes up, you're gonna go down there and be like, "It'll be this year. We're gonna go down again. We're gonna watch and get stumped again." No. And then
Maybe. Well, I
if
mean,
it
we kind of.
Nope. If it happens 2 times in a row, do you then like assume that it's your presence?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if the game was more even, if kind of the odds makers had said this is a toss up and then we lose, I'd be like, ah, it was us. It was 2 times in a row. But if the odds makers are like, you're going to lose by 30 points before the game starts and we lose, then I'm like, no, it was not us. that was simply talent. Will Archie Manning play next year, says Bovine. Maybe. I don't know. The fans kind of want him to. They're really excited for him from we talked to people in the stands. And yeah, BYU and Utah both lost 35-6. So that was interesting. Somebody said like during the game, somebody tweeted out that Utah fans should just watch the BYU game because they were getting trounced and enjoy that. And BYU fans should watch the Utah game because they were getting trounced and enjoy that in a Schadenfreude kind of way. Yeah. And yeah, I think a lot of people might have done that actually. A lot more fun to watch a team you hate getting trounced than watching the team you love get trounced, right? I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's normal human preference, I think.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Austin was great. It was a nice city. It was humid and kind of unseasonably warm there. I think a tropical storm had come through the Gulf of Mexico and had pushed some warmer weather up into Texas. Because, yeah, the people that we talked to were like, it's usually about 10 or 15 degrees cooler this time of year, but it was kind of toasty. So, yeah. Yeah.
Did you have barbecue while you were down there?
Oh, yeah. We went to 5 barbecue places in 2 days.
Oh.
We had barbecue for breakfast the day of the game. We showed up at 9:30 in the morning and had ribs.
Wow. America.
Yep. It was very American. So, yeah, it was good. It was all really good. Had brisket, had smoked sausage, had ribs, had pulled pork. That was really delicious.
Ugh.
But man, by the end of that, I was like, I do not want to see barbecue ever again. I'm gonna
uh,
eat today. Honestly, I was telling Samikron this before the pod, but my body was like, "You need vegetables," and I'm like, "I have some green beans." It's like green beans are good. Let's eat those.
uh, did you did
Yeah.
you did you hit up any barbecue places that are like famous? Like, did you go like further outside of Austin? Because I actually know a little bit about Austin barbecue, having listened to like the Rooster Teeth podcast and other Texas Austin based podcasts for like years and years. So did you head to like Lockhart and get like Frank's or Kreitz's
No,
or anything like that?
we didn't leave Austin. No.
Well, they
We
still
went
can. Sometimes they consider that Austin, which is seems
Oh.
weird to me. But you know,
Yeah, no, Lockhart. I mean, yeah, we would have had to drive a lot for that, I think. So no. Went to Terry Black's, which everybody local seems to say is the best one, and it was packed.
I've had
That's the one we went to like 9:30 in the morning, and there was a line. Like,
yeah.
I mean, super, super, super packed, and they're getting you through that line fast, but the seating is limited. You can have to like wait a minute to find somewhere to sit, and they had a lot of seating, so they're killing it.
Yeah, that's kind of something that they complain about.
Yeah.
Is that Austin people love to wait in line apparently, and so like they said that they were hanging out with some friends on like a Sunday night, and they're like, let's go get something to eat, and they wanted to get whatever, right? And they ended up going to a place that they know is kind of mediocre, purely because at 8:30 at night on a Sunday, it was the only place that didn't have a line out the door. You know.
That makes. I mean, I would take that into account if I lived in Austin to be like, I don't want to wait in line for an hour to get my food. Thanks.
Right. Which, no thanks. I'm not
No,
doing that.
definitely not. Went to a place called Micklethwaite's,
Micklethwaite's.
which is it's like a trailer that I think is permanently just kind of embedded in the ground where it stands, because it's a trailer, but I don't know it's moving anywhere. And then next to it was this giant enclosed smoker that was, I don't know, 12, 15 feet long. It was a big one. So that was cool.
On their website.
Yeah. So they offered what was called a Frito brisket pie.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get a picture of it here. I think I can find it. Yeah. So here it is. So I've heard of Frito pies before.
Okay.
And usually it's just kind of like a mess of like chili and Fritos, and you chop up some brisket and you dump it in there, maybe some cheese,
What's
right?
a Frito?
Oh, sorry. Oh, you don't have Fritos.
No. I've heard of Frito pie.
It's a corn chip.
Okay, because you told me that, and it just looks like nachos, but you've got extra stuff on it, right?
Right. I mean, that's kind of the idea. Like Fritos are corn chips. They're not exactly tortilla chips, but kind of the same idea. Yeah. You got kind of the salty, crunchy thing going on there. And then it's got like it's more fancy than I was expecting it to be. Like there's presentation involved here, as you can see.
Yeah.
Like there's cilantro on the top. There's like pickled vegetables on the side, but underneath all that, it's like cheese and Fritos and brisket, just kind of like a blah, 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 like a mess of deliciousness.
Why is it called a pie?
Don't know. I guess, well, the ones that I've heard of previously are more circular. They come in more of a circular dish, so that's kind of pie-like. This one, though, that's a rectangle.
Yep. I mean, we've got rectangle pies here, but they're still, pastry filled with meat and sauce.
Ah, gotcha. I mean, this is meat and sauce. I think that counts.
It's on tortilla chips.
Oh, well, corn chips. But yes, right.
Difference. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Here, let me see if I can find a picture of it here on Google so that Bovine can know what we're talking about. A lot of people got ribs. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's kind of it. This is it. Copy image link. Yeah, that'll work. Can't post images into Twitch. There, that might work. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Great. Yeah, so that was fancier than anticipated. Really good. Had some jalapenos in there, which is about my limit for spicy food. Okay. I can get up to jalapeno, and I'm like, this is good. But anything beyond jalapeno, I'm like, this is pain. and is not additive to my eating experience.
Well,
Please no.
I mean, that's interesting because jalapenos are actually one of the most varied things on like the Scoville hot sauce like rating. Not hot sauce, just like spiciness rating.
Scoville. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a bad jalapeno can be like 100 to 200, and a good like really hot one can be up to like 10,000 or something. Like there's a huge variety.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
obviously there's like a medium or an average or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
there's some variety in there.
Totally. That's good to know.
Fun facts. Just a little fun fact for you, matey.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so this wasn't too hot?
No, it wasn't too hot.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Was not too hot. What kind of a funny thing is, one of my brothers, he's the one that kind of suggested we do this. He's a huge football fan. He wanted to come down. He's like, we should all go.
Mm-hmm.
He was buying the tickets a couple months ago, and his boss, he was doing it at work, and his boss was like, hey, you going down? I'm going down too. Do you want to come with us on the company plane? On the company private plane and stay with us in a nice hotel, and I'll pay for your ticket. And he was like,
yes,
sure, I can do that. So he kind of ditched us for a fancy company plane and a nicer hotel experience.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So he met up with us at the game because our tickets were together, but the rest of the time we did not see him once.
No, he's doing it right.
I guess. And it was funny because we went to the same places, but just at different times.
Oh, okay.
We're like, hey, we're going to Terry Black's. He's like, yeah, I was there last night. It was great. And then he'd be like, I'm going to Micklethwaite's. We're like, yeah, we were there yesterday. So we were in the town, but our brother was living it up, which, you're right. It was probably the correct decision. But
Everyone asked some hard-hitting questions. He wasn't able to like sneak someone on or +1.
I guess not.
Company jet, got to be able to fit more than like 4 people on it,
Yeah. I mean, sure. I don't know if there's a standard seat number in a company jet, but here.
I mean, as long as it wasn't a 2-seater prop plane, I assure you there was more than 2.
Right. No, definitely. So Google says you can hold up to 20 people. Mid-size can be 8 to 12.
Okay.
Sounds like there was room for us. Gosh dang it, Josh. I mean, brother, no doxing. Yeah. So that was an interesting note for the whole thing, is that we were kind of down a man, but that's okay. Yeah. So it was fun. Just went out, just kind of wandered around the streets of Austin for a bit. Got some ice cream from a place called Amy's. It was good. Got like 10,000 steps in on Friday. I don't track steps. One of my other brothers does. He's like, we got 10,000 steps today. And I was like, dang, that's a lot. Good for us.
Is that a lot?
I mean, I don't know. How many do you do?
Well, it's midday, so it's only like 12:30. So, and I'm at 10,398.
Okay.
Yeah.
By midday, you mean you're going to bed in 2 hours, right?
No, I'll go to bed in like 4 or 5 or 6 hours, depending on how tired I am.
Okay, fair enough.
I might even go out for a bike ride if it's not like scorching hot.
Right.
Which it kind of is.
Good call, because it is the scorching hot time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fine. Well, if you have a job where you're on your feet, 10,000 is not all that much. But for me, it was a bunch. Well, how do you have that many steps on your day off?
I went into work.
Bummer.
You caught me out in the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You getting overtime pay for that work?
Yeah, today I am, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Should. That's how it should work. Yeah. Anywho, that was a fun trip. We, for some reason, we got super delayed on the way to Austin, though.
Oh, yeah?
Our flight was Salt Lake to Denver to Austin. We get to Denver, and the flight to Denver. Mm-hmm. The plane pulls up to the tarmac. It offloads. We're supposed to get on it now. And they're like, there's a problem with the plane. We need to check it out. And we're like, oh, that's comforting.
Well, I mean, it should be comforting. Can you imagine if they just didn't know that there was a problem and they didn't check?
But we wouldn't know. It'd be plenty comforting if we didn't know.
So you're rather like, oh, we can't let you on for reasons. We think there's a ghost. We've called a priest. Like, what would you rather know?
Also not comforting. I don't like that either. Just be like, one of our pilots had extraordinary diarrhea and he needs some extra time before he flies to Denver. It's like, all right, I get it. That's fine. Right?
Okay.
Something like that.
Sure. You just want to be told that the plane's being cleaned and you can't let people on.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Okay, you'd rather they just lie to you. What a good precedent to set for airline companies. Just lie to your consumers. Yeah.
Dude, if it makes people less terrified of flying, I think that's okay. I really do. Anyway, point is, our connecting flight from Denver to Austin, we had like a 30-minute window to get to the Denver airport and get onto our plane to Austin. So they spent 45 minutes checking out the plane and then say, okay, we can get on. And we're like, well, this isn't going to work at all.
Right.
So yeah, we get to Denver and we're like, hey, what's up? This happened to us. Yeah, there were about 25 people on your flight that were also flying to Austin that also missed the connecting flight. And we're like, there are 25 people and you didn't hold up your plane for like 20 minutes just so we could make it? And they're like, yeah, no, we don't care about you. And we're like, makes sense. That tracks based on what happened. So yeah, so I guess what they did is by order of who talked to them, some people got on to the next flight and some people got on to the next flight. And then we got on to the next flight. That was 3 hours later. So yeah, so we spent a good, I don't know, 3.5 hours in the Denver airport and finally got to Austin at 1 a.m. We were supposed to get there at like 7 or 8.
What I'm hearing is you spent 3 hours in Denver and didn't like be like, hey, Aki, want to come hang out? Show us around for a quick bit?
Accurate.
Oh, that's going to hurt. She's going to be real mad when I show this clip.
You have to leave security and get back in through security.
You've got 3 hours to kill. What did you do? Sit there and watch YouTube on your phone?
My brother had downloaded Mario Party 2 onto his Switch, and so we played Mario Party.
Not terrible, but still, like...
Good point. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to be honest. Not even once.
Terrible. I'd be fuming if I found out you spent 3 hours in Sydney Airport.
As well you should be. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Very reasonable. Yeah, anyway, it was stupid. So we were planning on going out that night, but we get it at 1 a.m. It's like, it's bedtime. I want to die.
Oh, you got in at 1?
Yeah.
Okay,
well, we got to the place we were staying at 1. Yeah.
Okay. Well, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least they didn't do to you like what happened to us when we went to New Zealand, because we get in from Sydney to Melbourne, and then Melbourne we're going to Christchurch, and it's like 11 p.m. when we get to Melbourne, and they're just like, hey, we decided to cancel your flight to New Zealand. And it's like, why? And they're like, well, it's a plane, that can fit like 200 people, and there was like 12 of you going. Like, it was not a very booked out flight by the sounds of it. So they were like, yeah, we'll put you up in a hotel, but it was entirely first comes, first serve. Like based on whoever like found out that their flight was canceled and then walked back to like the assistance that was open at midnight or whatever. And fortunately, the hotel that they put us up in was like connected to the airport, so we didn't have to go far. And they were talking to us, and like, how many people are you? We're like, we're 3, and my brother, my dad, and you. Okay, so you guys want 1 room? And I'm like, 2 if you can. And they're like, okay, sure. We can like, okay, we didn't know how much we could get. And like, who gets the room by themselves? And I'm like, I get it right here. So that's how I screwed my brother and my dad out of a hotel room. But we were supposed to get into like Christchurch at like 5 a.m. Didn't get there till like 6 p.m. the next day.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Yeah, not happy. There's a whole day in New Zealand we missed.
Terrible. And I don't know. I feel like I've heard more stories of terrible airline performance over the last couple of years. than I had in, the last 20 when I kind of started paying attention to that. So I don't
Right.
know if it's getting worse or if I'm just more keyed in on it or something. But
Oh,
anyway, that sucks.
just a result of scale. There's more planes flying now than there was 20 years ago.
True. So
Yep.
more delays.
Yep.
Yeah, good point.
Mhm.
Gross. Gross,
Mhm.
gross. Well, we talk about some StarCraft?
Sure, we can talk about some StarCraft.
Okay.
There's Group Stage 2 is done for GSL. And playoffs are starting in 2 days, 6 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah. So we talked about, did we talk about Group A or was that during another stream? I can't remember.
I don't think either of these games had played, had they?
Last time we did the pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So I think this is all new information for us.
Okay.
Group A was
Oh,
what?
yeah, we kind of chatted about it in Discord, the Gumio Solar thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talked about it a little bit. Gumio and Solar both still getting out.
Yeah,
Which,
totally did.
are we surprised? I feel like I kind of backed Cure a little bit.
You
Just
did.
because, for reasons I don't remember. But
Not recent performance, that's for sure.
no.
Not really. Yeah, so Gumio 2-1 Solar, he does bust out his kind of Cyclone race car mech, battle mech style against him.
Mm-hmm.
It works. And Solar at least didn't try to go Ling Bane Muta?
Yeah, Ling Bei Muta that Sue did. I think it was.
Yeah, that suited. That
Yeah.
did not work at all.
Mm-hmm. No bueno.
No.
So it was 2-1. Gumio over Solar. So Solar clearly did something that worked, but potentially not against me. I should have watched these games. I had loads of time.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was just tradition. The one game that Gumio won that was race car, Solar tried to go Roach Ravager Viper.
Mm.
Um, and it just didn't work out. The roaches just didn't provide any value at all. The Viper abducts just weren't enough. There were so many cyclones because you can reactor them out now. I think that's a big part of it. Is that previously you'd have to tech lab your factory to make a cyclone, and then you can reactor them out 2 at a time. So there were a ton of cyclones. And yeah, you abduct a couple of them, and it's like, okay, great. We still have 30 of them.
Right.
Like, way to go. You didn't really hurt us.
Mm.
So that was a big deal. And then the other win there for Gumio was just traditional Marine Marauder medevac. Solar didn't do a good job dealing with the medevacs. He didn't make a spire. He did some parasitic bomb on the medevacs, but the drops were killing him. Drops are everywhere. Gumio is very, very good with that style, and Solar kind of fell apart. So that was disappointing. But I don't know. Now that Gumio is in the playoffs, we could see a Gumio Dark final.
Yeah.
Which might give us, an actual elite top 4 Zerg player fighting against Gumio's new Cyclone mech.
Oh, wouldn't that be crazy?
It'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then in Group B, we just had Dark it out pretty easily. 2-0ing Bunny, 2-1ing Classic. Nothing too surprising there.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
And yeah, I think we talked about this last time. I have no understanding of the difference between Classic and Creator. So the fact that Classic got out over Creator, I'm like, cool.
Well, I mean, I explained the difference, didn't I?
Yes.
Classic has twice as much prize pool earnings. That's
I mean, came through here.
Came through here. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, our semifinals, which are going to be played in like 8 hours, is going to be Gumio and Classic.
2 days, 8 hours.
Oh. Oh, right. You are correct. Why did I misread? Okay, yep. So in 2 days, Gumio and Classic, and then Dark and Solar. Mm-hmm. My favorite, a semifinal ZVZ, where it's like,
you gotta have one mirror if you're gonna have balance.
Right? I know, but
all 3 races, one of them's gotta be twice.
Yeah, but I just feel like TVT and PvP are less Clown Fiesta coin flippy. I've just if I watch someone win a ZVZ at this level of StarCraft, I'm like, This says nothing to me about how good you are as a StarCraft player, man. It's build order losses and crap, I misclicked a Baneling and I just don't know. I don't like it.
I think it's an aggressive matchup for sure. That
Yeah.
is unforgiving, but I think it is still more true to the RTS experience than PvP.
Oh.
I feel like I feel like 2 or 3 years ago the only PvPs I watched were between NA players, and like if that's all we get in PvP, then PvP becomes NA players. And that is a clown fiesta. So it could be that I haven't seen a good PvP in a good while, but you know.
Well, I feel like you should probably go check out Creator versus Classic then from Group B.
Okay.
Because at least one of those games turns into a pretty solid macro style game, if I remember correctly.
1 out of 5. Wow.
Well, that one at least. I'm just saying, it happens. And ZVZ can go macro too.
Sure can.
And in that situation, I do feel like if we get to the Hydra Viper Lurker strategy and stage of ZVZ, then I feel like the better player usually wins.
Yeah.
Although,
Unless the
I
better
don't
player
know,
makes
man.
Ultras.
Yeah, unless you make ultras, in which case you're not doing it right and you lose. Although sometimes ZVZ, that comes down to this giant climactic battle where it's just both players are abducting each other's lurkers, and it's like abduct, and it's just this giant abduct swarm, and I'm like, who's doing this better? I don't know.
They
really can't tell.
I'd love to see a game where they both managed to abduct each other's army so perfectly in sync that they just swapped places. Right?
They just map position swap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm hoping for a Gumio Dark final. I think that'll be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's our that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Yeah.
We're rooting for that one. Sorry, Classic. Sorry, Solar.
Yes. Solar, it's like, wow, you got to the round of 4. That's good for you, buddy. This is where you stop historically.
Standard.
Best of 5s, give you a classic. What does a league like say?
Ooh, yeah, good idea.
Classic is in the list twice. That's interesting. It actually gives it a classic.
Interesting.
By like 2.5%.
Right. Huh.
It's pretty close.
I guess how much data do they have from the new patch, I guess, is the question.
Don't know.
From both these players in this matchup. Anyway.
Because I think it entirely goes by like historical score and score versus opposing race and form, rather than like it's a new patch. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I know, but that just means a ton of their data is from the previous patch, and
well, most of the data is from patches before that. You know.
Yeah.
Like it says here that like lifetime historical score is 59.99% to Gumio, and that's 5,014 to 3,344. Right. And a lot of those games were probably not played on this patch, I think.
Right. So I don't know how useful that information is.
Well, you're looking at performance. It doesn't like the idea that the player is the important key, not just the patch.
Right. But I don't know. I guess.
Is a good player, or is a good player a player that plays the patch?
I mean, a good player is a good player, but I think if you own somebody, if you beat someone enough to like have a pretty substantial advantage as far as a Ligulac is concerned, I don't know that you're necessarily going to keep that through every patch that StarCraft goes through. Like, I feel like that might go up and down as new strategies are found, and you have to adjust to what's going on and maybe drop some maps. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That you otherwise wouldn't if it was the old patch. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what we get.
We'll see. All right. Any other StarCraft happening? Any other StarCraft?
No, I think the next ESL tournament's in a while.
Yeah. December. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a whole month.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of a whole month, are you taking on the historically famous November challenge known as Movember?
No, I am not.
Okay. Never
Are
mind.
you?
No.
Okay. All right. Good talk.
I mean, I already have a mustache.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You're good. Done.
Could you beat an ASL champ if your game was set at half their speed? Well, 0.5 times, so it'd be twice their speed. Thank you, Bovine. You got the misdirect. I saw a.
Whatever. Go ahead.
I saw a pig. Did like he has a show called like Pig's Lab or something, and he had a non-pro versus a pro. I think it was Showtime, where the non-pros units all had 300% health,
Nice.
and the pro still won.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, I don't think I could beat an ASL champ, regardless of what's going on. I don't think I could beat an ASL champ in StarCraft 2.
But there has to be a way that it could be cheated to where you would win at some point, right?
Oh, eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If I started with all of the bases on the map, except for their natural.
Oh,
right?
You think so?
With all of them with fully mined workers, and I don't have a supply cap, and I don't need to build overlords, and I already have Ultra Tech. maybe then I could win. Units that don't die. There we go.
Yeah, invincible units.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
I mean, that's because I feel like that's what we're trying to find in those little non-pro versus pro matches where the non-pro gets some kind of an advantage. Is what exactly is the line where a non-pro can take down a pro if we cheat hard enough?
I can tell you
that wasn't it. This one was not it.
It is not. It's not no fog of war because Pig's already done that. The pro still wins.
Yep, totally.
It's not 300% HP because the pro still wins. It's not even 2v1 because the pro still beats 2 players. Like
It's not 3v1 because the pro still beats 3 players. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, I think at 3v1, you need to look at what quality of players you're throwing against it. Like, is that 3 Masters players or 3 Bronzes?
Well, and that's what we have to do for all of this, right? Because that is a fairly big difference in skill.
Right. You got to be rigorous in science. So.
Yeah.
Well, questions we just might not ever know the answer to.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just science, right? We just keep mucking around with it and performing experiments and recording our results. And eventually we'll get a game where some diamond level dude takes down Showtime. And because they had 600 health on their units, and we're like, we did it. We found it, everyone. We found the magical line between pro and not pro.
If I had 600 health on all my units, I would just like work a rush.
Yeah.
Surely that's the right thing to do at that point.
I still feel like Superior Micro might actually win from that position.
Really? You think so?
I don't know. My worker micro isn't very good.
I mean, mine's terrible.
Right. Exactly. I still feel like Showtime would micro his probes perfectly and defeat my 600x HP drones, honestly, fairly easily.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think at that point, right? Like, because if you think about it, another way of looking at that is imagine having, I don't know, twice as many workers at the start. Do you still think if you had gang up on them 2-1, Showtime wins?
Micro. I don't
know.
It's like how one Corsair microed perfectly can defeat 60,000 Mutalisks, right?
Right. That's in theory, sure, but you can't micro it perfectly forever because in theory there are other things happening in the game. So on
Yeah.
paper, one Corsair beats 1,000 Mutalisks or whatever, but like in practice, it never does.
Right. We just have to try. It's just a science thing. We can't theory craft this.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, maybe we'll try that on a Sunday stream. It's a good idea.
Sounds fun.
We'll give that a shot, Bovine. Anywho, that's your StarCraft.
That is StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think if I watched anything. You go.
I watched season 7 of Rick and Morty.
Oh, is it over?
No, I watched like the first 2 episodes. That's all that's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The buzz for this has been negative buzz, man. I am not seeing people talk about it on Twitter, on Reddit, on Facebook. It's like it's happening, but nobody's talking.
I mean, is that negative if nobody's talking, or is it just neutral? Like, it's
No,
not bad enough for people to say anything about it.
Correct. It's not bad enough that people are complaining about it, but it's also, I don't know, I feel like in previous seasons, there would be chatter about it. Whether people thought it was a good episode or a bad episode, there'd be chatter.
Well, maybe it's
I don't know.
2 episodes deep.
Maybe. And maybe even though they fired and got rid of Royland, I was kind of casting a pall over the whole thing where it's like, I know they got rid of him, but it's kind of still his project and it's associated with him, and I'm just going to leave it alone.
Maybe the entire internet is boycotting it, and I've just stepped into a landmine by admitting that I'm watching
it. Oops.
Yeah, I will say the first episode is pretty dog shit. I was not impressed by the first episode back. It's just like, hey, we've got all the characters you know and love, remember? Hey, here's Birdman and Mr. Poopy Butthole and like this other guy, the Squanchy dude. They're all here. We're all gonna do a thing. Yeah. It was pretty not good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's disappointing.
Second episode was a little better. Has like Rick and Jerry hanging out a bunch, and I love their dynamic.
Right.
Unfortunately, they kind of merge people and become Rick Jerry or Jericky. Jericky is what they call themselves. Like they become like a human centipede-esque monster. It's not very pretty, but it's okay. Like that's the best I can give it.
It's better than episode 1?
It's better than episode 1. Like I laughed in that episode, so there's the difference. Like
yeah, that's a decent metric, I guess.
It's a metric.
Yeah. Did I laugh once? Yes or no? Yeah, I don't know. I'm paying for YouTube TV right now for football anyway, so I've got the Rick and Morty without having to pirate it.
It's on Netflix for me.
Really? That's so interesting. I would have thought you would have said Microsoft Store because that's where everything is.
No, I haven't had to buy anything from the Microsoft Store in ages.
Oh, beautiful. So it's just on Netflix.
I mean, I also stopped buying things from the Microsoft Store because it doesn't work for me all that well anymore. Like, I've complained about this before, that, like, if I had paused a movie while watching something from there, and then I leave it for, like, 2 minutes because I went to the bathroom or whatever, by the time I come back, the programs crash, and I have to, like, restart and, like, click and drag the bar to get it where it was, and if I click and drag forward and backwards too much trying to get to exactly right, it crashes.
Ooh.
It's really awful. And then like I would try it on my brother's computer, and it's like, no, it's fine. It's just my account. And I was trying to work out why, and it's like, well, you earn like 7,000 media licenses that it's checking every second or whatever to be like, do you own this DRM? Yeah.
Oh, gross. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the only thing I can think of. But, so when I buy things, I usually go to the Google Play Store now.
Right.
If I want to buy or rent things. So.
So Netflix is popping them out there on a weekly basis then. The Rick and Morty episodes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Do they do that with other shows for you? Because Netflix here is nothing but dumping entire seasons.
It depends, I guess.
Okay.
Because
But
I assume okay.
you've
So
seen it.
where are you getting Rick and Morty?
It's just YouTube TV, which is just cable
YouTube
over the
TV.
internet. Yeah.
Okay. So I assume that Netflix's deal with whoever publishes Rick and Morty is like, we'll also only give it to you one episode at a time. We're not
Certainly.
gonna, and so they're just forced to do it that way.
Yeah.
I think when Netflix releases something it makes or it has paid to be made
Mm-hmm.
or has gotten the rights for exclusively, it just goes, here's the full season.
Right.
Or what was it? There was something that we were talking about or watching where they did like, I think it was Arcane where they did like 3 episodes a week.
Parts.
So, yeah.
Parts. Certainly. They have done that with Arcane. Stranger Things, the last season was that way too, 2 parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still dumping 3 to 4 to 5 episodes, and then you wait, and then the next 5 show up. So it's, yeah, I guess that's pretty much the same thing as just giving it to you week by week.
Yeah. It's a good middle ground, I think.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah. And in a country where they don't have it, just on a local cable or satellite network or something, put it on Netflix, like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
If we can't have it unless we do it this way, then we'll do it this way.
Yeah. All of Netflix's movies, they give it to you all in one go, so that's good. They don't like you watch that week to week.
Actually, I saw a video about that.
Oh, really?
There's some movie that's being released in 3 parts.
Okay. Dude, Lord of the Rings.
Where? But I mean,
The Matrix.
how are they doing it? Where is it? Why can't I find this? Oh, here's a story. Mean Girls released on TikTok in 23 separate parts. That was kind of it. It was a movie that they put in 3 parts on a streaming service. They're all there, but they just kind of give you like a natural break point where it's like, end of part 1. Go make some tacos. Come back for part 2 later, you know?
Sure. Okay. Like,
I
is it
don't know.
vertical as well?
Right.
You have to watch TikTok, like Mean Girls entirely in vertical. Sounds like a really shit experience.
It really does.
I mean, is TikTok hiring secondhand directors? Because you've got the whole, a good rectangular frame, a theatrical frame. Do you then need a second director to be like, okay, your movie's coming to TikTok. I am going to point the vertical slice left and right to capture the impertinent bits? Because otherwise, they're just in the center and be like, wow, this person's standing slightly off to the right and you can't see them.
Yeah, so it's pan and scan. So that's what they used to do with CRT monitors, TVs that were square when they would put a movie on TV. Is they would have somebody like that as, someone who understands composition and stuff and just determine when to scan to see what on the originally giant rectangle framed scene. So yeah, they could totally do that. I think it's more challenging with a rectangle than a square, like a vertical than a square though. But yeah.
I mean, they could do that. It sounds like a shit thing to do, but they could do that.
No, totally. And yeah, a lot of filmmakers were mad when they started doing that with their movies on TV because it's like, you don't know what my vision for my movie is. Like, come on. Like, you're just kind of guessing and determining what you want to do. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Movies in parts. Freaking Dune. Is Dune coming next year? I think Dune's coming next year.
Yep.
God.
Next year.
I think Invincible's still on plan.
Yeah, Invincible's like tomorrow, isn't it?
No, November 3rd.
So like 4 days ago.
Yeah. Go?
To go. To go.
To go. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'll definitely be watching that one.
I don't have Amazon Prime Video. That's what it's called.
Well, that's going to be an obstacle. I'm surprised it's not just on Netflix for you. Ha.
I mean, it'd be nice.
It would be nice. If everything was just on Netflix, life would be a lot easier.
It would, yeah. Oh, maybe I do have this.
Hmm.
Maybe I do have Prime Video. I guess that makes sense. I have Amazon Prime. I just forgot that I didn't. I had this. Oh, that's why, because I canceled it. I'm like, there's nothing I want to watch on this. I don't need it. And then I was like, oh, Audible. I could get a bunch of free books if I signed up with Audible for their subscription thing. It's like, all right, sweet. This comes with Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, perfect. There we go. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Live on podcast.
Yeah. What else do I have to watch?
Aki likes the idea of breaking movies into parts. Well, there you go. You are the audience for this whole idea.
I believe Aki's sounds like a perfect experience was in reference to my watching stuff on the Microsoft Store.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was longer. That was ago.
That was a minute ago, yeah.
Wish there was timestamps on comments on Twitch.
I mean, there are.
I don't see any.
Well, I think you have to enable it somewhere. Or maybe it's a better Twitch TV setting thing. Yeah. I do not remember.
I'm on settings. Let's see.
Yeah, Aki's has them. See?
Hmm.
She knows what's what.
How do I do it? Aki's on vanilla.
Oh.
What am I doing wrong?
An excellent question.
Settings. Emotes only chat. Why would anyone do that?
Yeah, let's find out. Emotes only chat. There we go. Have fun.
Wait, did that work?
You can say but why, because you're a mod.
Right.
Aki also, hey, let me just demod you guys both real quick.
Right. You're doing good, Bovine. Detailed, no, deleted messages. No, I think this is like mod settings for me. That doesn't help. I don't need mod settings. I just need chat settings. Whatever. I'll figure it out later.
Figure it out later.
Or never. All right, cool. So, Invincible's coming back. What else? There's something else. I feel like there's something else coming soon, like in the next week or so.
Not I can think of. TV or movie?
TV.
Let's have a little look-see.
Rotten Tomatoes has a list. That's good. Let's see.
Love Island games.
Yeah, that was it. You found it.
Mysteries of the Faith. The Three Detectives. Cigarette Girl. Blue-Eyed Samurai. Daily Dose of Sunshine. Well. Scent of Time. JFK, One Day in America.
Yeah, it's a returning show, but I don't know. Either I was misunderstanding or it's been pushed because of the writer's strike.
Rap Shit Season 2.
There's the Scott Pilgrim TV show that's coming on the 17th.
NCIS Sydney.
Oh, yeah. I did see some stuff about that. You get your own NCIS. Wow. People like NCIS in 2023, right?
Does it still have the old guy on it?
No, I think it's different characters.
I think they like that character.
People watch NCIS for the one guy.
Well, probably for the goth chick who had the greatest hacking scene of all time.
Right.
Who's not a goth off camera. Very disappointing.
Cultural appropriation at its worst. Yes.
Yeah. No. Oh, this is just. Whoa. Although the show is set in Sydney, the closest real life NCIS field office in Australia is located in Perth.
Perth is on the other side of the country.
It really is. That is.
Wow. They're trying to trick us.
If they move it to, like, why not just, like, I get it that Sydney's not the capital, but it's the biggest population center in the country, right?
Yeah.
Just make the show set in Perth. Like, Australians are not, as a whole, anti-Perth, right? It's not Tasmania.
Right.
You know?
But non-Australians don't know that Perth exists.
You know
Australia
that Perth
is
exists.
Sydney and kangaroos.
You know that Perth exists.
Only because, one, I know you, and two, we have a data center in Perth at work. Mm-hmm. Those are the reasons. Most people do not know you and do not have a data center in.
More people than you could possibly imagine definitely have a data center in Perth.
At least 3. Fair. Ooh, Aki got me timestamps. Thanks, Aki.
Oh, nice.
Now I can see how long ago a comment was.
Yeah, other than that, I don't know what TV show coming out that you're like.
Yeah, me neither.
For. Is it Whose Line Is It Anyway? At 9 p.m.? Nope.
No, I give up. That's it. There's nothing. Scott Pilgrim on the 17th. That's what it is.
Spellbound Season 1B.
Are you just going to keep naming stuff that we don't care about?
Yeah.
Okay, you do that. I'll nod. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm looking for anything that just sounds funny at this point. Oh, the Fallout show.
I didn't know there was a Fallout show.
You didn't know that there was going to be a Fallout TV show?
No.
It comes out April next year.
Who's making it?
Prime Video. Oh, that's where you can watch it. That doesn't necessarily mean who's making it. I don't know. I did see some posts on like Reddit from ages ago that's like, hey, this abandoned supermarket's being refurbed to look like a post-apocalyptic super duper mart or whatever it is from Fallout for the show.
Right.
Like, being filmed in their town.
No, I saw that too. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's got Walter Goggins from Justified on it. That's good. And Ella Purnell, I like her a lot. She's from Fireflies. I watched that.
Yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan. Okay, well, again, cast doesn't really matter as much as the writing stuff, right? We know that.
Sure.
It's being created by Lisa and Jonathan Nolan. Oh, no. They're the ones that did Westworld. They're the ones that did like seasons 2 through 4 of Westworld that people were like, I don't know if this is good. Season 1's amazing. Major drop off after season 1. And it's the Nolans. Well, Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan. But, oh, yeah. I don't think this is going to be good. But could be surprised.
Yeah. I'd like it to be good.
Yeah, certainly. If we keep making quality adaptations of video games, the more of those, the better, I say. It's good for the industry.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Please don't screw them up and treat them with a lack of respect. Thank you. As we've discussed endlessly, respect the material you're adapting, understand what makes it special, and give it the thing. You can change stuff. Changing stuff is fine. But find the thing that makes it what it is. Find the thing that makes people love it and keep the thing, please. There we go. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, like The Witcher. The Witcher had the thing, right?
I mean, the first season it kind of had the thing.
Or like the Fantastic Four.
Which one? Ha.
Fan Four Stick.
Oh gosh. Like Halo, the thing is that Master Chief doesn't take off his helmet. It was not that hard. I'm not sure if that's the thing with Halo, but
It's a thing with Halo.
it's a thing. Sometimes there's more than one thing. Sorry, we just made it more complicated.
Recognize all the things and then find out which things you can change.
Correct.
Like,
and that's easy to do if you know the thing and love the thing yourself. You don't have to go hunting. You can figure it out.
Even if you can't figure it out, Google it. Somebody else already has.
Seriously.
There are people online waiting to tell you what the thing is.
Right. There's Reddit posts and blog posts and Twitter posts, and just go do some research. Look into the thing. Look into the property. Look into the IP. Don't go into it mad because you wanted to do your own story and the company saddled you with this adaptation you don't want to do.
Right.
You're going to fail at that point. It's impossible not to fail. Also, studios, stop doing that. Stop giving beloved IPs to people who don't like the thing. All right, we're getting off the rails here, and time's up anyway.
Just a little,
yeah.
Deep calming
good.
breaths.
Calming, deep, in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, good. So that's going to be it from us today. This has been Falcon, Paladin, and Somicron. Yet another fairly ranty edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. You can support the podcast directly at patreon.com/Somicron and falconpaladin.store for merch, which is very cool. We'll be back in about a week with more of the same here at twitch.tv/Somicron, and the VODs go to youtube.com/@Somicron.
It's true.
There you go. Thanks again for hanging out. Appreciate you being here, Aki and Bovine. We'll see you next time. And until then, stay safe and stay healthy. And above all, you take care of yourselves.
Bye.
Goodbye.